A French Bulldog has 3 settings: asleep, snoring, and mildly offended. Somehow, this is one of the most loved dogs on earth. Welcome to the Frenchie Code, where we decode every weird, dramatic thing your Frenchie does. Today, we're starting with the way they sleep with their back turned to you. Spoiler, it's not rejection.
It starts the same way every night. You're walking past the bed, and suddenly, there's a small grunt behind you. You turn around and there they are. Your Frenchie, standing on their back legs. 2 front paws planted on the edge of the bed. Big dark eyes locked onto yours. The most desperate, needy, please help me up, I cannot possibly do this myself expression a 25-pound creature has ever produced. Because your Frenchie cannot jump. Their little legs aren't built for it. Their compact body doesn't stretch that way. So every night they stand there, performing the full theatrical ritual of begging for your help. And the moment you lift them up onto the bed, they walk 3 steps, turn their back on you, and completely forget you exist. 5 seconds ago, they needed you desperately. Now, you are invisible to them. If you have ever wondered what is going on inside your Frenchie's head when they do this, why the love turns off the second they get what they want, why they choose to sleep with their back to you after all that begging, this video is going to change the way you see your dog. Because what looks like contradiction is actually one of the most specific, most beautiful things a Frenchie owner gets to experience. And there's one moment, one tiny thing they do right before they fall asleep that most owners never notice. We'll get to that at the end, and it changes everything. Let's start with that bedside ritual, because it bothers owners more than they admit. You lift them up. You support the whole weight of their stocky little body. You feel appreciated for exactly 4 seconds. Then they turn away.
Because before they fully settle, there's a show. You know the show. First comes the tug war. They grab the edge of the blanket with their teeth and pull. You pull back. They growl dramatically. The full performance growl, the one they do with their whole chest, the one that sounds serious and is extremely not serious. Then the paw game. They slap a paw down on your hand. You move your hand, another slap, another move. It's like the world's smallest, most compact boxing match, and you are both winning and losing. Then the stare. They freeze. Perfectly still, eyes locked onto yours, that intense Frenchie stare that somehow communicates, I dare you to move, I double dare you, I'm not blinking, this is a test of wills and I will not be the one to break. And then the blanket attack. A full body pounce on a lump in the blanket that is not actually there, digging, rearranging, being very busy with something very important that only they understand. This whole performance is about 5 to 10 minutes long, and it happens every single night until suddenly it stops. A long dramatic sigh. The body goes heavy. The eyes go soft. The theatrics end mid-pounce. And without warning, they turn their back to you and surrender into sleep.
No look back, no thank you, no acknowledgement. It can feel like you've been used. But here's what's actually happening. Your Frenchie needing your help to get onto the bed isn't just physical, it's social. Dogs in a bonded pair use small acts of dependence as bonding rituals. A dog who lets you handle their body, who trusts you to lift them, carry them, place them somewhere, is not performing weakness, they are confirming trust. The beg isn't manipulation, it's a ritual. And once the ritual is complete, once you've done your part and they've done theirs, the transaction is done. They don't ignore you because they stopped caring. They ignore you because the contract was fulfilled. You delivered, they arrived, now it's sleep time. It's the Frenchie version of a handshake, brief, sincere, and complete. Your dog didn't forget you. They filed you under person who makes things happen, which, if you think about it, is a much higher compliment than constant desperate approval. This brings us to something that makes Frenchies completely unique. Frenchies love everyone. Not just their people, everyone. They'll bring the mailman into the house if the door is open long enough. They greet strangers at the park like old friends. They have almost no stranger danger reflex. In fact, some Frenchie owners get mildly offended by how affectionate their dog is with random people on the street. You'll walk into a family gathering, and your Frenchie will spend more time with your cousin than with you. It can be genuinely confusing. You are the one who feeds them. You are the one who lifts them onto the bed, and they're over there flirting with your neighbor. But here's what most people don't understand. Frenchies have two kinds of love, and they're completely different things. The love they give to strangers is real. It's warm. It's generous. It's one of the most wonderful things about this breed. But it's surface level. It's the welcome committee. The love they save for you is something else entirely. A Frenchie will share their excitement with anyone. But vulnerability, trust, the kind of surrender that happens when they close their eyes in the same room as you, that is reserved. The fact that your Frenchie is the friendliest dog at the party and then comes home and turns their back to you in bed is not a contradiction. It's the proof. They can afford to be friendly with the world because they have you to come home to. When your Frenchie finally settles in and rotates so their back is facing you, that's your Frenchie telling you in the only language they have, "I trust you completely. You don't require monitoring." Most owners spend years looking for signs that their dog loves them. And this one, the turned back, the spine pressed against your leg, has been there all along, hidden behind the performance. Researchers who study canine sleep behavior have found that when dogs sleep with their back toward a specific person, they are placing that person in what behaviorists call the trusted anchor position. Their most vulnerable areas, chest, throat, and face, point outward toward the room, toward movement, toward the unknown. Their back faces you, the one direction they've already cleared. Your Frenchie has mentally sorted the world into two categories: things that might be a threat, and you. And this isn't something your dog was taught. It wasn't trained. You didn't ask for it. They decided it based on every interaction you've ever had, every time you came back when you left, every time you were gentle when they were scared, every time you lifted them up onto that bed without complaint. Every stranger they greeted in the park came and went, but you stayed. Your Frenchie built a case for you, and this sleeping position is the verdict. Now here's where things get specifically Frenchie. Because your Frenchie doesn't just sleep next to you. They produce a whole symphony while they do it. You've heard it. 3 a.m, everything is quiet, and then from the foot of the bed, slurp, slurp, slurp. Your Frenchie is chewing on their paws, or licking them with intense concentration. Sometimes it's followed by a soft grumble, a sigh, a noise that sounds like they're in the middle of an argument with someone in a dream. Here's what's actually happening. That paw licking, especially in Frenchies, is a self-soothing behavior. Dogs have scent glands in their paw pads, and working those pads with their tongue releases a calming sensation. It's the canine equivalent of fidgeting. Most bonded dogs only do this when they feel completely safe, because it takes their attention away from their surroundings. They would never do it in a place they felt they needed to stay alert. So those strange little noises at the foot of your bed? That's a dog who has fully let go. The dream talking, the grumbles, the tiny muffled barks while their legs twitch, that's REM sleep. Dogs in REM process memories and emotions the same way humans do. Your Frenchie is actively dreaming. Studies have shown that dogs who feel emotionally secure enter REM more often and more deeply than anxious dogs. Which means, if your Frenchie sounds like a tiny haunted swamp at 2 a.m, congratulations. You have created the safest place they have ever known. And oh, one more thing about this breed specifically. Frenchies are brachycephalic. Their flat faces make breathing more effortful. So when they turn their head away from you at night, part of that is airflow management, open space for their face to breathe freely. But their body stays close to you. That's warmth. That's security. Face toward the open room for air, body toward you for calm. It's a very Frenchy solution. They are always running more calculations than they let on, even while dreaming about squirrels. And hey, if any of this is making you look at your Frenchie differently right now, hit that like button and subscribe. It helps us reach more Frenchie parents who actually want to understand what their dog has been trying to tell them. Dogs in natural social groups rarely sleep face to face. They align in different directions, back to back, side by side, facing outward. Each dog covering a different angle, together creating 360 degrees of awareness. It's instinct at its most elegant, and thousands of years removed from packs and predators. Your Frenchie is still following that ancient arrangement. When they sleep beside you facing away, they're covering the room for you. You're not just their person in that moment. You are part of their pack formation. And now, because your Frenchie trusts you completely, we need to talk about the thing every Frenchie owner has experienced, but nobody warns you about. The farts. You know. Your dog is curled against you at 4 a.m. The house is silent. You are in the deepest sleep of your life. And then, a sound. A soft, gentle, almost apologetic little sound, followed immediately by a cloud of something that defies scientific understanding. And because they're sleeping with their back to you, because they've placed their hindquarters in what behaviorists technically call the trusted anchor zone, this cloud is being delivered directly to your face. The reason Frenchies are famous for this is the same reason they have breathing issues. Their digestive systems are compressed by the same anatomy that makes them brachycephalic. Air gets swallowed, things happen. But the choice to fully relax against you, weapon systems and all, that is a compliment you cannot take back. Your Frenchie is saying, in the most unfortunate way possible, I trust you so completely, I don't even care what comes out of me while I sleep. That's not gross. That's devotion. Admittedly with a cost. This is what I mentioned at the beginning. The thing most owners never notice. The moment that happens right before your Frenchie turns their back. Watch closely next time. Before they rotate away from you, your Frenchie will almost always make eye contact with you first. It might be brief, a glance, a slow, soft blink. Sometimes they rest their chin on you for just a moment, and then they turn. That pre-sleep check-in, that look before they look away, is not random. Here's the part most people miss. If your Frenchie has always slept like this, and one day that changes, pay attention. Dogs repeat what makes them feel safe. When a pattern breaks, there's always a reason. Sometimes physical pain or illness can make a dog seek solitude. An older Frenchie sleeping alone is worth a vet check. Sometimes environmental, a new person, a new animal, a change in routine that feels bigger to them than it does to you. And sometimes emotional. If they stop doing the bedside beg, if they stop needing you to lift them up, something shifted. Not to punish you, to protect themselves. Your job isn't to make them come back. Your job is to figure out what changed. Because your Frenchie wasn't sleeping that way out of habit. They were sleeping that way because something was true. Help them find their way back to it being true again. That bedside beg was never manipulation. The ignoring was never dismissal. The paw chewing was never anxiety. The back turn was never rejection. And the farts, unfortunate as they are, were never an insult. It was all your Frenchie, the friendliest dog in every room, the welcome committee of the whole neighborhood, saving the quiet part for only one person, you. The side they don't need to watch, because you're already there.